As a pallet business owner, I'm juggling a lot of stuff, and on any given day, I could easily forget to do something or get sidetracked, especially if I'm under pressure or in a rush. Sound familiar? As we got busier, one place I noticed where things started to slip through the cracks was the processing of client pallet orders. Between getting the order ready, confirming the delivery date with the client, booking the transportation, making sure the pallets actually get loaded onto the truck and delivered to the client on time, invoicing the client, collecting payment, and every other step in between, there was a lot to keep up with. Then it occurred to me, for the most part, filling a client order involves the same steps happening every single time. So I sat down and I wrote out every step that needed to happen and I made a checklist. This has been a game changer for me. Every time we get a new order, I start with a new copy of my checklist. Each step of the checklist is a task that I can schedule for myself in my task manager. Now I use Asana, it's free, but you can use any task manager you like Google Tasks or Todoist or Monday.com or anything like that. You can also use an Excel spreadsheet or a Google or Word doc. They have a bunch of free templates that you can use. The key is to just think it through and get the steps out of your head. There are two things that I love about this approach. Number one, I don't have to worry about anything. As long as I follow the steps and do everything in order, nothing will get forgotten. Number two, it actually helps me save time. Having the steps written simply and in order makes it less likely that errors are going to happen, and it saves me time from having to go back and fix something later. What I'm doing isn't groundbreaking. In fact, checklists are being used in a ton of different industries. Airplane pilots have to complete a pre-flight checklist prior to takeoff. Over at NASA, if you've ever listened to a launch, you'll hear the controllers working through a checklist to make sure that everyone over at Mission Control is ready to go. And if you've ever been hired by a company with an HR department, you've more than likely been through a new hire onboarding process. Now, using a checklist to process my client orders has made such a difference that I've actually started to incorporate them into other parts of my business. So for example, I now have one that I follow every time I get a call from a potential new client. I have another that has our warehouse opening and closing procedures on it. I even have one to walk me through filing my Florida state sales taxes. So if you're looking to make your pallet business better organized and more efficient, I highly recommend looking into incorporating checklists into your operating procedures. If you'd like to learn more about developing and using checklists, there's a great book out there called The Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande. You can grab it at your local library or on Amazon, or if you search the title on YouTube, you'll find a whole bunch of videos about it. If you have a question about buying or selling pallets or about the pallet business in general, leave a comment or get in touch. All of my contact information is in the description box below.